A sunny, cool morning, I should say, Dom. Normally it's in the afternoon, but it's the morning here at Bridgewater-Raynham. Brian Berard and Dominic Damiano here with you on Thanksgiving morning for the 12th installment of the Cape Cod Cafe Cup between Bridgewater-Raynham and Brockton. Bridgewater-Raynham going for their 9th win in this rivalry on Thanksgiving Day. Now, of course, the last time these two teams played was in April, Dom, in the spring, when we had spring football, and Brockton got the victory that time, which clinched the first ever Southeast Conference title. And again today, these two teams are playing for the Southeast Conference title yet again. So I'll bring in my broadcast partner, Dominic Damiano from Brockton CommunityAccess. And Dom, first of all, happy Thanksgiving.
You too, Brian. Thank you.
It's been quite the year for both of these teams as they both started 0-4. I want you to talk to me a little bit about how hard it is to get the team to buy in after starting 0-4. Both teams, granted, did play some tough competition at the beginning of the year.
Absolutely, Brian. Everyone knows that Bridgewater-Raynham and Brockton High probably play the most toughest schedule in the state. So that's why they don't really have to worry about power rankings and things like that to affect their season. But to get back to your question, as far as getting these teams ready, it's tough. This is one of the biggest rivalry in the state on Thanksgiving.
So we're going to send it down to the field for the coin toss at midfield.
Toss it in the air and let it hit the ground. What's your call going to be? Heads. All is heads. We got a tails. Bridgewater-Raynham, you won the toss. Would you like to receive or defer? Bridgewater-Raynham has won the toss and elected to defer. Brockton, you're going to take the ball. What end zone do you want to defend?
Bridgewater-Raynham has won the toss and
there,
deferred
Brockton,
to
right over here
second
with me.
half.
So we'll bring you back into the broadcast booth. As you heard, Bridgewater-Raynham won the toss and deferred their option to the second half. Dom, I feel like that's been quite popular in football for the past 10 years or so. I mean, what is the advantage to kicking off to start the game?
Well, in my opinion, as a former high school coach, you want to see if your defense, again, there's so many different perspectives you can take. 9 times out of 10, you want to see if your defense can do what you think they can do to set the tone for the opposing offense. Shut them down. Show them that they can't go to the outside. Show them they can't throw the deep threat. And then hopefully your offense will come on. Once you get the ball on your first possession, you can execute like you were hoping to do. Like, you know how it is. How it always looks good in practice.
So let's talk about the away team here. It'll be the Brockton Boxers. They come into today's game with a record of 4-6. However, they are 3-0 in the Southeast Conference. Their last game was a victory over Weymouth, 33-16. Dominic, you had the opportunity to call that game for Brockton CommunityAccess. What went right for Brockton in that game?
Everything from the
That's
leadership.
good.
I mean, I can jump on it more, but I believe we have the national anthem. Now I can elaborate on what we initially asked me. So this is basically the way it went, Brian. Wanuti is the real deal when it comes to, I got carried away, as far as this Brockton offense. They play out of that pistol, and some people call it the gun, depending on how far back the quarterback and the running back has off the quarterback. Sometimes that's judged off how close the quarterback is to the center. But with that being said, in this win, again, 32-16, like you said, Brian, Wanuti went 8 for 12 in the air, 203 yards, ran a couple in. Their special teams in that game averaged 37, almost 38 yards on the kickoff and the punt returns. And besides that, they forced 2 fumbles. scored on that drive. Nothing but positive from Coach Colombo's team on that day.
So Bridgewater-Raynham will be kicking off from right to left. And, of course, Brockton, they did make the Division I state tournament, I should say, with a first-round loss to Zavarian, which was a 48-21 loss. And Winoti had also 3 touchdowns in that game, as well as Cam Montero had 7 grabs for 98 yards and a touchdown. And we'll recap Bridgewater-Raynham in just a second. But we are underway here on Thanksgiving morning. A high kickoff, a little short. It's going to bounce towards the near sideline. It's going to be picked up by Brockton. He's going to step out of bounds fairly quickly.
You know, it's funny, Brian. I see sometimes coaches try to set that up, but the way they try to set up is their gunner's on the outside. They'll set up for a 20-yard kick, and hopefully the gunner can get under the ball. And it does happen. It does work.
I honestly thought that was going out of bounds.
I did too.
So Bridgewater-Raynham comes into today's game with a 5-5 record, and again, they are also 3-0 in the Southeast Conference. And their last game was a come-from-behind victory at North Quincy. It was a 21-20 victory for the Trojans. At one point, Dom, they were down 20-7 in the fourth quarter, and BR recovered an onside kick and got the game-winning touchdown with 32 seconds left.
That is really impressive.
So a shotgun formation here for the Trojans, for the Boxers. Winuti's going to hand this one off. End around here for the Boxers. Good run here to start towards the near sideline. Montero. Now, Don, we also talked about a big player that Brockton is getting back for this game. Donovan Monroe has been out with a hamstring injury all season long. How big is that of a return for the Boxers?
Well, according to Coach Colombo, he absolutely loves this kid. He said he's not going to show them right away, but we will see him in this game.
Montero again with the handoff. He's going to be wrapped up in the backfield, but still keeps his leg churning. Gain a few yards. It'll be about 2nd down and 7. So Bridgewater-Raynham, they did not make the Division II state tournament, so they had 2 non-playoff games. They beat BC High here at BR, and of course we just said they beat North Quincy. In that game against North Quincy, Michael Ruba had 188 rushing yards with 2 touchdowns, one of which was a 75-yard touchdown run.
Wow.
So that should be 2nd and 6 here for the Boxers.
One thing they like to do, Bri, is they'll change it right up in the line of scrimmage when they go to that no huddle.
So 3 receivers here for the Boxers. Handoff, and he's going to get swarmed in the backfield immediately. Gang tackled by a few BR Trojans. Great job from that defensive line there for BR. Now brings up 3rd and about 10. Lost all 4 of those yards with the gain on 1st down.
What a great play by number 87, Logan Johnson of Bridgewater-Raynham. Brian, he shot that gap. He actually did it look like more like a cross when he got in there through that gap and made that play.
That was Mauricio Powell on the carry for the Boxers. So 3rd and 9, they're going to officially say it.
One thing you can notice about Brockton, whenever they have the loss or if they're ahead and they're trying to kill the clock, they go right into the huddle. And that great defensive stand that time for BR definitely caught them off guard.
So 5 receivers set here for the Boxers. Winoti all alone in the backfield. Drops back, looks left, now throws over to the middle, and no one's home. Wonder where he was trying to throw that one to. That was almost intercepted there by the Trojans, but now it's going to be 4th down, and the Boxers will have to punt.
Yeah, one thing, excuse me as I stutter again, I apologize. It looked like initially he was trying to get Lucas Pyers, but you could tell from, at least it looked like from up here, that Winoti was definitely caught off. As far as he couldn't even really plant himself the right way, Brian, to get good release on that ball.
I don't think the QB and the receiver are quite on the same page, but Bridgewater-Raynham will now get the ball for the first time, barring a fake here. We've seen on Thanksgiving Day, both of these coaching staffs will decide to switch things up. Brockton will send this high into the sky and almost hits like a wall of wind. It doesn't even reach the 50-yard line. It's going to eventually bounce over, and BR will have tremendous field position here, starting from their own 47-yard line.
There was no wind, Brian. That was just a bad boot. And Winoti knew it all the way. But the way the ball was in the air, it did look like the wind could have knocked it down, but that was just, unfortunately, bad mechanics by Winoti. Really get the right foot on the ball.
So, as we said, both teams started 0-4 this season, Dom, and BR has only lost once since that start, and it was to Middleborough. They've won 5 of their last 6. Coming into this game a little hot, as is Brockton, too. They've won 3 of their last 4. So you've got 2 teams here that are starting to figure things out.
Absolutely.
So another shotgun formation here for the Trojans. Then Nolan DeAndre is going to take this, and he's going to gain maybe a yard. Now, normally Declan Byrne is the quarterback here for the Trojans, but Nolan DeAndre takes the first snap here for the Trojans.
Were you surprised with that? That kind of...
Well, DeAndre was the quarterback in the spring as well, and they went to Declan Byrne. And of course, Declan Byrne is a very young player. Of course, he's only a sophomore, and DeAndre is a senior. So, of course, senior day, Declan Byrne's going to have a few more seasons to figure things out. You know, this gives Nolan DeAndre one last shot at being a quarterback. So single eye formation here for the Trojans. Handoff goes to Rubo, runs right into a wall, gets back to the line of scrimmage. It'll be 3rd down and 9 here for the Trojans.
And Christian Pina leading the defense on that tackle initially, Brian. They read that well. But like we talked about before, which we know, both teams are just, I mean, this is both teams' first offensive possession. They're just filling each other out. As the coaches check it out, see if they can find the biggest mistake and try to exploit it.
This is Lou Pacheco's first year as Bridgewater-Raynham's head coach, looking to finish above 500. I formation here for the Trojans. Play action. DeAndre rolls out to his right, throws downfield towards the far sideline, pushing, and no flag, and it's going to be incomplete. So Bridgewater-Raynham will now punt the ball back to the Boxers.
That was Montero on the coverage for the Boxers. Great coverage, both guys running stride for stride. I believe that was Ryan Brennehy. Am I saying that right?
Ryan Breheny.
Breheny.
We'll talk about the interesting early season woes that the Trojans football team themselves had. Spiral and kick, low line drive. Takes a BR bounce, and Brockton's going to let this one roll and keep rolling down to about the 5-yard line. Excellent bunt there for Bridgewater-Raynham. And now we're going to send it down to a Thanksgiving legend, the man that you will always recognize with the hat. We'll send it down to Newbie Ratteau. Newbie?
Guys, first and foremost, listen, happy Thanksgiving. It's glad to be back. I know we were here last year, but I'm joined with the legend, former offensive lineman right here for the Brockton Boxers. Last time Brockton actually won a Super Bowl, actually, year before that, you guys went back-to-back. Artie Diaz. Listen, Art, talk about what it means to be, to play on Thanksgiving football. What does it mean to the players?
This is a great tradition. This day, even if we were bound for the playoffs or whatnot, this day was always special, even if everything was sealed up. Family, you get the most family at these games, and that's why we play to honor our families, and that's when they would come out.
Listen, I know you guys back in the day actually played off fan, not Bridgewater-Raynham. So talk about how important it is to have that crosstown rivalry.
I love the fact that they play BR now. I wish we got to play them in the playoffs, but I wish we got to play BR because they're your neighbors, And again, they're you maybe treat them like enemies between these lines, but they're your neighbors, and it'd be cool for these guys to bump into these folks.
Brian, a little read option on that one, and
all right, guys, I'm going to send it back to you guys. Listen, happy Thanksgiving. Best of luck. Happy Thanksgiving to you and your family.
All right, thank you, newbies. Brockton looks like Winati took the negative 2-yard loss there, negative 2-yard run, throws over the middle. It's complete to Montero. Montero breaks a couple of tackles, still not brought down. Montero's finally forced out around the 46-yard line. Great throw, great catch. Even better run, though, from Cam Montero.
Absolutely. I love you, Brian. That was Christian Paul on the reception for Brockton, number 10.
Excuse me, yes, Christian Paul. My apologies.
I have your back, my friend.
At least someone does.
There they go, Brian, changing up like we talked about on their first possession.
That was a 41-yard gain for the Boxers. Easily the longest play.
Absolutely. Longest play in the whole game.
In the whole game, yes. Throws out into the flat. Now that's Cam Montero. I know that is Cam Montero, and he still refuses to go down. He gets into BR territory around the 46-yard line.
Well, it looks like we're going to have a hold, I believe, in the far side of the field. So that's coming back.
Look at you, like you're seeing into the future.
Well, you know what? I finally blocked the sun out of my eyes, and I can see the field.
Yeah, I feel like I'm going to get a sunburn.
Oh, I was going to ask you if you had any sun lotion on.
Normally we play at night. You don't have to deal with this.
Yeah, true.
But as I said, before that punt there for BR, BR, the first part of the season, did have 3 home games, and I say them in air quotes. But BR was still getting the turf installed here at the high school, so their first home game was actually at East Bridgewater. The second home game was at Taunton High School, and their third home game was at Marciano Stadium before finally having a true home game against New Bedford. How tough is that for a team where, yes, you are home, but it still feels like a road game?
Oh, absolutely. And look at when Nudie go. One thing we talked about, Brad, we have some scores coming in. We have one in already, the Abington-Whitman-Hanson game, Abington has taken a 7-0 lead.
Just say 1-0 lead.
I had hockey in the brain for a minute. A 7-0 lead early in that game over at Whitman-Hanson.
And if I'm not mistaken, I believe Abington is in the Super Bowl this year.
Yeah, playing Rockland.
And it's strange to see that rivalry like that.
Yeah, 2 Patriot leagues going at it.
Well, that's the new format of the state tournament. There's going to be a pitch to outside, and he's going to get wrapped up and gets back to the line of scrimmage is Mauricio Powell.
Nicely read by BR.
So again, this brings up a 3rd and long. Brockton had that 41-yard pass completed there, and they haven't really done much since, Dom. Of course, that 10-yard holding penalty did bring them back.
Absolutely. Amin Abbasi, we talked about him, the pronunciation of his name, Brian. He blew up that option on the outside that Brockton was trying to do on that last possession.
So 3rd and 10 here for the Boxers near midfield. Winuti is going to take off and run with this one. Winuti on the near sideline. Winuti is going to get pushed out of bounds around the 30-yard line. Thought he was going to go to pay dirt, but it's another first down here for the Boxers.
One thing Brockton has done really well all season is that play action, that read option, Brian, between the tackles, between Powell, or sometimes it's Barnes in the backfield out of that pistol formation, that pistol formation. Out of the spread formation, but it's a pistol because he's so close to the quarterback, so close to the center,
So Brockton here on their second offensive possession gets down to Bridgewater-Raynham's 30-yard line.
Well, they did shoot the linebacker, the big gentleman, number 22 with the long hair, and Winuti read it really well on that option.
He's on the all-hair team.
Oh.
Michael Buron, that name should sound familiar, as Montero takes this one and gets up to about the 34-yard line. So the next play for the Boxers will be their 8th play of this drive.
Brockton looking better on their second offensive possession so far.
Brockton, they are a team that's averaging just shy of 25 points per game. That's pretty impressive, Dom, I would say, at the high school level.
Absolutely.
So 2nd down and 5 here for Brockton. 3 receiver set, 2 to Renuti's left, 1 to his right. Powell in the backfield. Powell takes the handoff, goes right up the middle, huge hole. And that's going to be enough for a first down. He gets inside the red zone towards the 19-yard line.
Brian, they shot Buron again, number 22. He went up the C gap, and it was well read by Brockton, and the receiver basically the outside of the line.
As you saw right there on the replay. So first down and 10 for the Boxers inside the red zone, and the graphic shows up. It's my favorite thing on the scoreboard. It's the only reason why I do these games, just to see that graphic. Renuti drops back, looks left, throws towards the far sideline. It's complete. Nice little stutter step right there to avoid a tackler.
Lucas Pyers.
Lucas Pyers on the grab.
Pass completed, number 12, Lucas Pyers. 2nd down.
They're just celebrities walking in the press box, Tom. No big deal.
I know, they like you. There they go, changing it up again.
4 receiver set, 3 to Renuti's right, 1 to his left. Powell in the backfield to his left. He's 2nd down and 4. Handoff up the middle. Powell goes towards the goal line. He's going to get the first down and gets inside the 5. Goes down to the 4.
I think it's safe to say, as of right now, on this second offensive possession for Brockton, they are really reading between the tackles, Brian, really well, catching up, isolating that blitz.
Seems like that offensive line there for Brockton is really doing a great job, allowing the holes for Mauricio Powell to run right through. But yet have not seen Donovan Monroe. But again, you don't really need him on this drive. It seems like Brockton's doing everything that they can.
I mean, he's out there right now. They use him also as a tight end, as you can see him on the far side, on the right side, on this offensive line right now in this possession.
So handoff to Powell, gets tripped up and gets to about the 3-yard line.
So they were trying to get Bjorn out of the way. Bjorn actually had his back spun, and it was his back ankle that tripped up Powell.
Second down for the Boxers.
So second and goal here for Brockton. Again, 3 receivers set. Powell to Winudi's right. Winudi's now going to take this run right. Cuts up the middle. Winudi towards the goal line. No sign. No, they're going to say he's just shy at the 1-yard line.
His knee did go down.
Third down.
I'm glad you can see that from here.
Now here's another look at it right here. Watch his right knee.
This is an excellent view right here. There you go. Excellent work from John Luck on the sidelines doing camera for us.
Yeah, every now and then there was this turkey hat on too.
Well, everyone's going to be able to see him. That's a requirement. If you want to work on the field, you have to wear the hat. That's why I'm not on the field. I refuse to wear the hat. So third and goal from the 1 here for the Boxers. Just under 2 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Still a scoreless game.
Now they got Barnes back there with Powell.
Barnes now going to take this, runs up the middle, and runs into a wall, and it's going to be 4th and goal from the 1. Dom, you have to go for it here, don't you?
You really do. You get 2 evenly matched teams. You drove all the way down. I mean, where was the original drive?
They started on their own 5-yard line.
You got to go for it.
And here, of course, they've taken 7 minutes off the clock with this drive. Now we started with 8 minutes and 9 seconds left. Now we're approaching the 1-minute mark. And there you go. You see Winudi coming back on the field, and Brockton's going to go for it here. Just run it with Winudi.
Absolutely. Do that the read option between the tackles.
Keep it up, fans. Keep it up.
So Barnes and Powell in the backfield with Winudi. Powell now motions out. Winudi's going to take the run. Stiff arm. He's stuck in the backfield. Now he's going to throw 2 wide open Brockton boxes in the end zone, and it's a touchdown for Mauricio Powell. I think they were supposed to run that play, and then he was going to get sacked. We saw that receiver wide open.
He was. You could see the linebackers, Brett. They show the replay. Get the chance to look at the replay. Watch the linebackers bite on the run. Remember, linebackers are read and react. They each have a zone they're supposed to drop into for the pass.
You see, look at the Brockton band. Here is the replay. I think this was actually supposed to be a pass the whole way, just the way that he was holding the ball, Dom. And it was a great job from the defensive line there from the Trojans, but your linebackers forgot you had 2 receivers out there on the far side.
Right.
Who's got to pick your poison. The extra point is up and good.
Now, believe it or not, they do have John Dumas, number 36. I did see him in the regular season hit a 30-yard field goal.
There you go. And now we're going to send it down to Nubi Rateau with the cheerleaders.
Ladies, guys, listen, you know the rules. If you're on the field, the people will.
So performance team placed a happy. Should I restart?
Okay, cool.
All right, here's John Dumas ready to kick off, Brian.
Low line drive, and that's going to be caught at the 25-yard line for the Trojans. Runs up the middle and goes to the 36-yard line. That's where the Trojans will start with 30 seconds. We're going to send it right back down to Nubi again.
Sorry about that, guys. Listen, we're back here again. The turkey hats, it's the only way you can be on the field wearing the turkey hat. I'm here with Selena Rowley. Talk about, listen, you guys were in a state tournament. Talk about the experience. Congratulations on that. Really represented the town very well.
Thank you. Performance team placed a very happy second with an absolutely flawless and perfect routine. As a senior, I could not be more proud of the performance that we put out there. We ended that routine and everyone just bear clawed each other with the biggest hugs, and it was the best feeling ever.
Second as well was our booked for all of us. We against 12 other teams, and we are so happy to be in second place.
Second place is a huge accomplishment. You know, you guys are first place in our hearts. Well, I wish you guys the best. You guys are all seniors. We got seniors in the background over here. Well, I wish you guys the best on your future. You guys are planning on doing that.
Thank you so much.
Back to you guys.
All right, you saw Michael Rubo with the 10-yard carry on first down, and now Declan Byrne is back in at quarterback for the Trojans.
So let's see what type of adjustments, Brian, they saw, this being their second offensive possession. And it looks like we have a timeout.
And that ends up the first quarter.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't have the scoreboard on this side of the wall.
If only if it was on the television screen.
I thought this is the best part you liked about the
So it's the end of the first quarter here from the Cape Cod Cafe Cup, and it's 7-0 Brockton, and this man, Newbie Rateau, is just all over the field. Let's send it right back down to Newbie on the field again.
Oh, listen, man, we're just having a whole bunch of rock stars here, a whole bunch of celebrities. I'm amongst greatness right now. I'm here with the athletic director for the Brockton Boxers, Kevin Cairo. Kevin, first and foremost, happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving to everybody in Bridgewater and Brockton and our local communities. Happy Turkey Day.
Listen, it's got to be a great atmosphere here. Talk about what it means for a high school player to play on Thanksgiving Day, and kind of give us a little preview of what's coming up for winter sports.
Yeah, well, I think this is our 11th year that we've played Bridgewater-Raynham, and Thanksgiving Day is always awesome. I mean, it's last game of the year for a lot of kids, and for a lot of them, it's the last football game that they'll play, and it's always a great matchup between these two schools. So here we are, a beautiful Turkey Day out here in Bridgewater, and as far as what we have coming up next, winter sports, Monday is the first day of winter for basketball and all the other things that go with it. So we go right from one season to the next, and we're looking forward to it.
So my last question is kind of a contract here is that everyone's on the field wears a turkey hat. Cam Person has a turkey hat. I have a turkey hat. Where's your turkey hat?
I think I might have left mine at home.
It might be in the oven. Listen, happy Thanksgiving to you and your family.
Thanks so much. Appreciate it. Have
All
a
right.
great one, everybody. All right, thank you, my friend.
See Michael Rubo there with another carry. Gains about 7 on the play, so it'll be about a 2nd and 3, and BR is finally in Brockton's territory.
So to my own credit, I am against the wall. I did not see the quarter end, so I apologize.
It's too bad that we have this nice brand new 4K monitor in the booth that can tell us. So 2nd down and 3. It's going to be a QB sneak there for Declan Byrne, and he's going to get plenty for the first down. Gets up to about the 41-yard line.
We have another score coming in, Brian. Bourne 7-0 over Wareham.
The Battle of the Canal.
Someone's going to get bragging rights for the bridge? I don't know. How does that work?
Well, there is a little bit of a rivalry because, I mean,
True.
Wareham calls themselves the Gateway to Cape Cod, but now Bourne's been calling themselves the Gateway to Cape Cod. So I guess whoever wins that game is the Gateway to Cape Cod for the year.
I guess.
I mean, and we're playing in the Cape Cod Cafe Cup. As you see another carry there from Rubo, gets up to the 35-yard line. Seems like the second possession for both teams, the offensive line seems to have woken up a little bit.
Absolutely, and if you consider that last offensive series to end the first quarter, they're averaging over 5 yards, Brian, a carry coming into the second quarter.
Look at you doing math.
Well, just so obvious. But I'll say, yeah, that sounds good.
So 2nd and 6 here for the Trojans. I formation. It's going to be another handoff, but he is stuffed immediately. That looks like that was Dawson Dubose on the carry. So a 3rd and 4 coming up here for the Trojans with rolling on 10 minutes remaining.
That was Aaron Russell for Brockton, number 71, leading that attack, Brian.
With Brian Berard and Dominic Damiano here with you on Thanksgiving morning, a joint production between Brockton CommunityAccess and Bridgewater Television. Always a good time when the both of us get together and do a BR Brockton showdown.
Or a BR basketball game.
So 3rd and 4 here for the Trojans, 2 receivers. Byrne drops back, hands this one off to DuBose. DuBose cuts left, tries to get towards the first down marker. He's going to be just a little shy. Gets to the 32.
The last two plays, Brian, Brockton is starting to pick up this BR offense. They're reading the ball a lot better now.
Looks like Declan Byrne is coming back onto the field. If you're BR, you go for it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Why not?
Right not. Exactly. You only had 2 bad short runs your last 2 tries. Besides that, you've been moving the ball over 5 yards of carry.
And look at this formation that they have. Handoff. Rubo up the middle, gets it. Gets up to the 29-yard line. It's a second first down on the drive here for the Trojans. And their next play will be their 8th of this drive. So both teams only had a handful of plays in their first possessions and punted. And now, both chewing up a lot of clocks. This may be a 1-hour game, Dom.
Yeah, yeah, right.
Another I formation here for the Trojans. 2 receivers set. Handoff, Rubo out of the fullback slot. And he gets up to the 25-yard line.
Got another update from Bristol Plymouth.
The Craftsmen, how are they doing?
They are unfortunately losing to their rival Blue Hills. Let me make sure I get it right. 16-8 at the end of the first quarter.
No extra points that they want to go for?
Not that I've seen. I want to thank Nate Rollins for reporting, and he also has a 7-7 tie into the first quarter. Taunton and Milford.
Very well. So 2nd and 5 here for the Trojans. Same formation pretty much in every single play on this drive. Pitch goes towards the near side. DuBose takes it. DuBose a couple of cuts. DuBose towards the near sideline. DuBose gets down and pushed out of bounds at the 9-yard line.
You cannot give a kid that talented that much real estate to cut and move. He will burn you.
Take a look at the replay right here. Some great lead blocking there for the Trojans' offensive line, and Dawson DuBose saw the holes and did what he needed to do.
We're going to call that 1st and goal from the 10-yard line, folks.
Like I said, Brian, a kid that talented, you can't give him that much real estate to move and use his God-given ability to get away from any defender, and that's exactly what he did.
DuBose takes this carry, gain of a couple. So I'd also imagine if BR does get into a 4th down situation, they would have to go for it.
Absolutely.
Unless if it's like a 4th and goal from the 8th, but I imagine if they get inside the 5 and it gets to a 4th down, they would probably go for it.
They've only had 3 bad possessions in this drive.
So Byrne under center. Hands off to DuBose, runs left, and gets to the 5-yard line.
That was a good old-fashioned trap, Brian. You have the guard in the center pulled to the strong side, and your other guard will go to the weak side, blowing that hole open between the 2 guards.
Just under 7 minutes remaining in the second quarter. Don't forget to stay tuned for halftime for the Battle of the Bands. Always a great time when both the BR and Brockton marching bands put on quite the show on halftime. So 3rd and goal from the 5 here for the Trojans. Rubo and DuBose in the backfield. Byrne under center. Rubo shifts to the right. A pitch again to DuBose. Rubo gets the block, cuts back inside, dives to the goal line, and he's in! A touchdown for Dawson DuBose on the 12th play of the drive, and the Trojans get on the board.
Again, you can't give a guy that talented, Brian, that much room to move, and he did exactly what he had to do. Great heads-up running.
Take a look on the replay right here. That was a nice block there from Rubo on the edge so DuBose could cut back and dive for the goal line.
Well, you notice how they set that up to before they snapped the ball, Brian, to an offset eye.
We'll take a look at the extra point here. Snap, good ball down. Kick is up, and it is good. And we are tied at 7 apiece here from Bridgewater-Raynham Regional High School on Thanksgiving morning. So BR with another long drive of their own, about 6 minutes taken off the clock there. So let's see how the Brockton Boxers respond. And Dom, I've had the chance to call a few BR games this season, and a lot of times BR has done that pistol formation. Haven't seen it at all yet today. Of course, on that drive, they just went I formation.
And then they went offset I to get that
a couple
lead
of
block.
times.
Yeah, and that was a great call. That was a great adjustment.
Feels like Brockton's really trying to spread out that BR defense thin. I love when teams do that. You know, you 3 to 4 wide receiver sets, and you spread that defense thin. That's why I think the Brockton run up the middle has been so successful.
Absolutely. We have another update from Quincy, North Quincy, Brian. After 1 quarter, no score from Memorial Park.
Very well. Kickoff goes towards the far sideline. I'm going to cut this back towards the middle of the field, and that's going to be Michael Victor on the return, and he's going to get up to about the 30-yard line.
So it's going to be interesting to see how here's his return here. Great swarming and great pursuit by the BR special teams, Brian, on that.
I feel like a lot of times, though, you set up a kickoff coverage, and they're going to kick it towards the left. So many times if the receiver can get some space on the outside and get towards the middle of the field or even the opposite sideline, I feel like those returns can be huge. But luckily for BR, stopped them at, I believe they're going to list that at the 31-yard line. So again, spread formation here. Montero. Now it's going to be a fake to Montero when Nudie takes this and gets back to the line of scrimmage.
Number 87 for the Trojans on the tackle, Brian. He read that option well. Logan Johnson. There was no, I mean, when you run that option like that read option, you got to have a fake in there. He just stood straight up, and Montero didn't have no fake, and that was well read by the Trojans.
I'll give credit to Logan Johnson. He spent a lot of times in the backfield this season for the Trojans. So 4 receivers set here for the Boxers, 2 on each side of Winuti. Powell to his right. Winuti drops back. Johnson is there for the sack. I think he lost his footing a little bit, made the sack a little bit easier, but still, there's Logan Johnson. I said he spent a lot of time in the backfield, and that's the first sack of the game.
He must have heard you, Brian. He did. He really got through that. If we can see that again, watch how he goes through that B gap on the other, from the right side of the defensive line of scrimmage, and yeah, Winuti definitely lost his footing.
So it'll be a 3rd and 21 here. Now, as a coach, Tom, how do you defend against it's 3rd and long like this, 3rd and more than 10?
How do you defend it? You play prevent and play the nickel. Put an extra corner and they take a linebacker out.
It looks like they are going to listen to you. Winuti drops back. Johnson again giving chase. Gets blocked, though. Throws downfield. Is it going to be enough? And, off the fingertips. Actually, I think that was just a drop by Michael Victor. Ryan Brehenian on coverage as well, and that'll stop the Brockton Boxers' drive.
Great job by the BR secondary.
That was actually a great job from Winuti just to even get a throw off like that. Honestly, I think Michael Victor probably should have caught this ball.
It looks like we have a flag down.
That's going to be on the offense, and it's going to be declined. Probably a hold. So take a look at the replay here from end zone cam. Just giving you multiple angles here on Thanksgiving Day. Winuti on the run like that, to throw downfield like that, that is impressive. Might have been a tough catch, but I still think Michael Victor probably should have brought that one down.
Yeah, but you got to give credit, Brian, to number 12 for BR. He put his hand right where it needed to be. He had his distance between, of course, Ryan Breheny. By the end of the game, I'll get Breheny down, I think. But he made a decent play, and there's a punt away.
And it's going to be a fair catch called for. And BR will start at the 44-yard line. So BR looking to get their first lead of the game.
Yeah, Breheny, all he did, Brian, is put his arm up there, and interfere with any possible catch.
So going to put this at the 45.
They're staying with that I formation look.
If it's worked so far, handoff to Bose. Finds a hole right up the middle, gets to midfield, gets into Brockton territory, into the 49-yard line. Gain of 6 on the play.
They just blew up on that ISO, Brian. They blew up number 75 for Brockton. Let's watch this right here, Brian. They took number 75, Boston, right out of that game, right out of that. Great blocking by BR.
So again, it's going to be a handoff to Bose up the middle. Gains another couple. Gets up to about the 46-yard line, so it'll be a 3rd and short 1 here for the Trojans.
Just when I thought Boston got blown up, Brian, they put him on the other side of the ball. Here's a look at it right here, and he helps make the play, along with number 71, Aaron Russell. How's that sun over there?
Very good. These sunglasses are doing wonderful. It's going to be a run. DuBose breaks a tackle and gets just enough to get the first down to keep the chains moving for the Trojans.
Carlos Tomas, initially had him for the loss, Brian. He couldn't finish the play.
So Michael Rubo was the part of it, the main attraction there, I would say, for the Trojans pretty much all season in the backfield, as has Dawson DuBose, but Rubo really had a strong game, as you said, against North Quincy, 188 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns, but it looks like Dawson DuBose has been the feature back here today, imposing his will, and again, Trojans, I formation, 2 receivers. This one's going to go to Rubo out of the fullback position.
Another trap. They just took off for 5 yards. Great play, great call.
It's up to the 39-yard line.
There's a look at it right here. So Vega comes in, Brian. It looks like that Boston's going to take a rest on the defensive line for Brockton as they go with this 3-man front, and they do have a outside linebacker.
Pitch towards the outside for DuBose. Gets some lead blocks. DuBose still on his feet and is going to be brought down at the 29-yard line. Gain of 10 on the play for DuBose. And another first down for the Trojans. They're second on this drive.
First and 10 from the 30.
We have some other scores coming up, Brian, second quarter. Southeastern over West Bridgewater 12-7, 7-7. Rockland and East Bridgewater. Dennis Yarmouth and Nauset 0-0. Marshfield 7-3 over Foxborough.
I mean, before the game, you said, "Oh, we might have scores from 3 or 4 games." You've just listed off 10.
Yeah, maybe 15.
Declan Byrne rolls out to his right, throws near side, and it's dropped. Looks like he was trying to find Daniel Francis, and that's only the second pass attempt for the Trojans all morning, I should say.
Well, a big shout out to Nate Rollins, the Whitman Hanson Express, Tom Joyce of the Quincy Sun. You know me. They help me out with the show, the radio show, and you help out as well, giving us scores. And they're going above and beyond today. I usually get one, and I call you, and I get the score right away, either you or Jeff Fowler, and then I'm waiting for the other guys, and there's Tom Joyce. Oh, I said the podcast ain't over. I'll get you the score with it. So
earning their turkey today, that's for sure.
Absolutely. Thanks, guys.
So second and 10 here for the Trojans. Hand off to DuBose. DuBose gets up towards the first down. It's going to be ruled just a yard shy. Gets to the 20-yard line.
Brian, another offset play. Fullback goes left. Your tailback goes right.
And the Trojans will take a timeout. So while we have this timeout, Dom, you just mentioned the show, 4 Deep Sports Talk Show. Talk to us a little bit about 4 Deep Sports Talk, John.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Brian. So I've been doing it since 2007. It's a high school youth sports radio podcast video show. We do it out of Attleboro on 1320 AM WARA. It podcasts live via their YouTube channel. And of course, I have the link off the website. It's passion of mine, which you know through years past, about giving these kids some well recognition that they don't usually see until a team does make the playoffs or the state finals. Otherwise, no one will know about their accomplishments. I had the privilege of finishing up the soccer season covering Whitman Hanson and following them to the state championship game over Silver Lake, where they lost 2 in a row. I don't want to elaborate too much, but they won the game when it counted. Got some good video footage of that, and trying to reach out to more now that the youth program's over, OCYFL League, Pop Warner football. Try to get those champions on.
There you go. And I know you said it's about high school and youth athletics, but you've also had on Manny Del Carmen, World Series champion, on your show.
He's lucky. He's lucky I have him.
So 3rd and 1 here for the Trojans. All sorts of options, but it's going to be a play action. Byrne throws it to the end zone, and it's almost intercepted. Looks like he was trying to find Zachary Marvel.
Great coverage by Brockton and Malachi Johnson coming over. Here's a look at it right now, Brian, and they played that full house look in the backfield with the three backs.
Now Trojans have a 4th and 1. I would imagine they were going to go
Absolutely.
for it. I mean, they're not calling that play on 3rd down if they're not going for it on 4th down.
No, but that's a look we haven't seen all game, Brian. That full house look. You have everybody. You got a fullback, a running back, a tailback. You name it.
Well, options are good.
Options are good, especially when you have the talent to do it. And they do it again. Here's the same look, Brian.
And now everyone shifts out.
Single eye.
And it looks like we're going to get a timeout from Brockton, and we are.
Timeout, Boxers.
Going back to your show there, Dom, you said you're going to have Whitman Hanson on your show. When is the show? When can we watch and see it?
You can watch it Saturdays at noon to 1. Again, you can watch via off the website. Go to it's actually WARA's YouTube page. I have great support in Bridgewater. They play those shows all the time. One of the big towns that really love what we do. You can listen to it on WARA. You can listen to audio via their listen link off WARA. I have great support with the Attleboro people. Again, it's been a lot of fun.
Now, I believe you can also watch it on Bridgewater TV.
Correct.
Brockton CommunityAccess, and the Raynham channel.
Yep, and you can watch it in Foxborough, Sharon, Easton, Old Rochester, New Bedford, Fall River.
For all those people watching this.
Right. But, sometimes people do care about what the other towns are doing, But then you have some towns that, why is this on our channel? It happens.
So a 4th and 1 here for the Trojans. Handoff, Michael Rubo up the middle, and plenty for the 1st down. Gets to, I believe they're going to say that's the 18-yard line.
I'd like to see the blocking assignment. Was that a wedge block or a trap? Looked like another trap. And they just blew that right open.
So a fresh set of downs here for the Trojans. Here's that shotgun formation, 4 receiver set. Rubo in the backfield. Actually going to be a little end around there. Daniel Francis gets to the far sideline. He's going to get pushed out of bounds around the 10-yard line. So even though they're spreading out that offense, they're still not going to run right up the middle as they've been so successful the last drive. They're going to try and now spread that defense out even more by running towards the perimeter.
Absolutely. And the other thing, Brian, if you think about it, I can count on one set of 5 different plays in this offensive drive. They've averaged less than 3 yards. Everything else has been more. Hope that made a little bit of sense, but
absolutely.
Just
needed some directions to get there, but we did. And again, another 4 receiver set here. Rubo in the backfield to the right of Declan Byrne. Some more motion. Now it's going to be a handoff to Rubo. Runs left. And that's going to be enough to move the chains again. Gets inside the 10-yard line.
That looked like a little counter, Brian, like they faked to the back in motion, gave it to the lone running back, and just blew up that left tackle.
Looks like Zachary Marvel was a play action too, and then Rubo ran left.
Yeah, they ISO'd that left tackle. Great job by Bridgewater-Raynham.
So it'll be a 1st and goal for the Trojans from the 8-yard line. 12th play of the drive coming up here for the Trojans. With 45 seconds remaining We had a timeout called. There it is, Dom, the red zone graphic. Of course, we'll talk about this one last time. I know you said that you're going to have Whitman Hansen on with Coach Dave Fleck, who's been an absolute instrumental part for not only just Whitman Hansen soccer, but also East Bridgewater soccer. And probably two of his most successful, if you call them graduates, would be the Mewis girls, who play on the U.S. women's national team. Sammy won World Cup for the U.S. in France a few years ago. Sammy, I believe, Christy got her first goal at Gillette Stadium against Korea back in 2013, I believe.
Good memory.
There you go. I was at that game. That's how I remember. We have a pitch to Dawson Dubose, and he gets to the 6-yard line.
And the other thing Nate Rollins mentioned to me, again, from the Whitman Hansen Express, he just got nominated for the Eastern Mass Hall of Fame in soccer.
Nate did?
Nate. No, not Nate. I couldn't refer to Coach Flack.
Handoff to Dubose, runs right, runs into a wall, still keeps the legs moving. Gets up to about the 3-yard line.
If it goes into the Hall of Fame. Oh, that'd be awesome.
No, but Dave Fleck absolutely deserves that honor.
Absolutely.
One of the best soccer coaches. And, of course, a lot of his players do end up at Bridgewater State University. Get another timeout called. So 18 seconds left. It'll be 3rd and goal from the 4-yard line.
This is big. Brockton cannot answer right now what BR is throwing at him. And it's, like I said, 5 times since they've had this ball in this offensive possession, they've averaged less than 4 yards. That's just, visually looking at it, They've really been blowing up that offensive line. One thing that hurts Brockton is when they go to the 3-down lineman, they try to put that outside backer on the outside, on the strong side. BR's too talented enough. BR will run on that outside, on the weak side of the ball.
So this is the 14th play of this drive for the Trojans.
$18 on the clock. Offense steps up to the line. Here we go, folks.
The Trojans have one timeout left. If they decide to run and not get in the end zone here, they have that one final timeout. Brockton has 2.
Full house look, Brian, in the backfield.
Byrne, play action, rolls right. Byrne looks, throws. He's going to just throw that one away and save some time.
He had no choice because big Aaron Russell was coming over to say hello.
So 4th and goal from the 4-yard line. 12 seconds left. Now BR does get the ball to start the second half. Do you take the points here if you're the Trojans?
Well, you got to have. I would think.
Looks like they are.
Yeah, they are. But I mean, to me personally, I would have went for it.
I mean, I understand taking the points here. You're getting the ball to start the second half. Mason Berry on. And Brockton will take their second timeout. Ice the kicker, John. Dom.
Ice the kicker.
Wow.
Right? Wow, thanks.
John is not going to be happy that I called you.
How about me? Some guy walking around with a camera and a turkey hat on his head. He's a good guy.
He's provided us some great angles, though, here today.
They all have.
So normally, if you bring our big BTV production truck, we'll have 3 cameras. But today we have 5-camera special. John Luck, of course, on the field. We have Jeff Fowler. And I got to give Jeff Fowler some props here. The guy has a walking boot on and is doing camera on a platform.
Yeah, he has surgery coming up, too, right?
Yes.
A lot of good people in both production teams.
So Mason Berry on again to attempt the 20-yard field goal. Snap good, ball down, kick is blocked. And it's still fumbled around, and Brockton, I think BR is eventually going to recover that one. That was just a low kick. Well, we'll take a look on the replay when we get there in a second, but that seemed like an extremely low kick.
It really did.
I don't think you needed to really try to kick it that low from that distance. If it's 20 yards, to try to get the ball up into the air. We'll take a look here. I think he just kicked that into his own line.
Did you see his plant foot, number 30, the field goal kicker for BR?
Mason Berry. No, I did not see it.
If you watch his left foot, you always try to teach him to have that plant foot almost right next to the ball. Because look, when you kick extra points, I was always taught and I was always told, you always watch what you do. You follow through, like playing baseball. You watch yourself hit the ball. I don't want to say he's out, but it seemed like his plant foot was too far back.
5 seconds left. BR defense up to the ball.
So it'll be 5 seconds left here for the Boxers. I would imagine they're just going to try. Well, maybe just try one play. They have a timeout.
And there was another look at it, and
Wanuti, there's a flag thrown, so that's probably going to come back. And he airs this one out. What a throw from Wanuti, and it's complete. He completed that pass. Oh, my goodness. To Christensen Paul. But I believe this is going to come back as there's going to be a hold. But still, what a play.
And there's no time left on the clock. That's halftime, folks.
And it is. So that is going to be the first half, a 7-7 tie here at halftime, Dom. What are your takeaways here from the first half?
well, for the BR Brockton, Brian almost said Brockton. For BR.
Actually, we're going to send this down to newbie with BR head coach Lou Pacheco.
Coach Pacheco, first and foremost, listen, happy Thanksgiving, 7-7. Your thoughts on the first half?
Happy Thanksgiving to you as well. For us, perfect. All we want to do is a little ball control, and then we talked about it all week. As many big plays as we can limit Brockton, the more we're going to be in it. Every big play they get, our percentages of winning go down. So for us, that's a perfect first half. They had to drive the ball all the way down the field to get 7. We had to do the same. Now we're in the ball game. We got the second half coming. So,
what adjustments do you think you need to make in the second half to win this ball game?
I'm not going to make a ton of adjustments. Maybe just some personnel stuff. We got some guys that are young but still fresh. So we'll get some fresh legs in there in a couple spots.
Good luck.
All right, thank you. Happy Thanksgiving.
All right, back to you guys.
Thank you, newbie. It was BR head coach Lou Pacheco. So, like I said, Dom, what are your takeaways here from the first half?
Well, thank God Coach Pacheco could answer the first question. He's not going to change much. He just has some personal moves. Not personal moves, but roster moves. He's
Personnel.
Gonna make. Thank you. That he's going to make offensively and defensively. I wouldn't change anything offensively. You've been averaging over 5 yards a carry. Again, I think I counted 5 times in that second quarter they averaged less than 5 yards or less than 4 yards. Defensively, they got to try to slow down on their stunts when they shoot Buron and they try to get him on the weak side blitz on the BSC gap. I think they need to stay away from that. They need to have the linebackers read and react better. That's why Montero and Johnson, I believe it was Johnson and Victor, were wide open on that Brockton touchdown. As far as Wanuti, that kid's as the kids would say, that kid's a beast.
He's a player.
He is a player. And you mentioned another long pass. He's throwing off his front foot, right? Humming the ball down the field 35, 40 yards. That might be an exaggeration. At least that's what it looked like. They got to worry about containing him. They contain him like Severian did in the playoffs. They will win this game. As far as Brockton, you got to let Wanuti run that play action. You got to run that read option offense out of the spread, and try to get BR to bite on it, which they have. But BR is doing a better job watching that between the tackles. That's their bread and butter. Wanuti is the key to Brockton offense. Defensive wise, I think Brockton should go to a 4-man front and stay away from the 3-man front with the outside backer.
There you go. All right. As we said a few minutes ago, stay tuned for the Battle of the Bands. And right now, the Brockton High School Marching Band taking the field to put on quite the performance. When we come back, though, we'll have second half action. You're watching the Cape Cod Cafe Cup on BTV and BCA.
VR, welcome. Stepping onto the field now, the VR marching band. The marching band is proud to present this year's show on Long Came the Spider, where VR drum majors are Luke Jones and Olivia Gilsebeck. The VR polo guard captains are Sarah Driscoll and Penny Storm. Luke, is the band ready? You may have the field.
Welcome back to Bridgewater-Raynham Regional High School. I'm Brian Berard alongside with Dominic Damiano. You're watching Bridgewater Television and Brockton CommunityAccess coverage of Thanksgiving Day football. It's a 7-7 tie here as we start the third quarter. The score for Brockton was a 1-yard touchdown catch by Powell in the first quarter and a 5-yard touchdown run by Dawson Dubose in the second quarter for Bridgewater-Raynham. Dom, just a quick recap of the first half, and what do you expect to see in the second half?
Well, I expect BR to exploit that defensive line that we talked about it at the end of the going into the half, as I'll finally get the words out of my mouth. They got to get again. They're playing with that linebacker, Brian, and BR. If you see some of the plays, you can see some of these plays going on. BR has no problem exploiting that outside linebacker right into the weak side of the field. As far as and here's a look at the first touchdown from Brockton High. The other thing is, you and I both know, Wanuti, if he runs that offense, he knows they have the talent. BR has to isolate that. They got to put a robber, maybe put Buron, watch him all day, and take away that threat, especially when they do that read option out of the spread.
So, Dom, it sounds like you also have some out-of-town scores for us here on Turkey Day.
We do. We have at the half, Blue Hills is leading. Bristol Plymouth 26-10, 26-20. I apologize, 26-20. Other scores around here. North Attleboro is beating at the halftime, beating Attleboro 7-6. Marshfield has a 13-6 Mansfield has a 13-6 lead over Foxborough. Situate has a 14-6 lead over Hingham. At the half, Abington has a 17-0 lead over Whitman-Hanson. Cohasset has a 35-0 lead over Hull. Two Super Bowl teams. We talked about this when we were up the air. Both teams, one team's going to Division 7 Super Bowl. The other one's going to Division 8, I believe. Nauset and Dennis Sharmuth, no score at the half. West Bridgewater, at the time it was, East Bridgewater, they were tied at 7 with Rockland, but we talked about how Rockland most likely going to save their players for the Super Bowl. Southeastern 12-7 at the half over West Bridgewater. That's probably a different score. We're hoping to get some more scores. Bourne still has the lead over Wareham as far as what I have in front of me, 7-0. Taunton and Milford tied at 7. And I know we talked about 5 scores, but we're really getting a lot more. And again, big thank you to, and the other one is Quincy. And this is from Tom Joyce, the Quincy son. Let me try to get that. He just sent that to me. I apologize. I believe it was 6-0 North Quincy over Quincy at Memorial Stadium.
There you go. And
and I do have one more. One more. Here it is.
Look at us.
The Lakers, Old Rochester is beating Apponequet 21-0 at the half.
There we go. Bridgewater-Raynham will receive the second half kickoff here. Let's see if getting no points at the end of the first half comes back to haunt the Trojans here in the second half. Going from left to right. Very little wind to speak of here this afternoon, though it is a little chilly. At the start of the game, I should say. Right now it's about 50 degrees out there and very little wind. If anything, it's going from the near sideline towards the far sideline.
Zachary Victor back there, number 4 for the Trojans. And I believe that's Zachary Marvel, I believe, also back there at their own 12.
Low line drive kick and goes towards the middle of the field, and a good run right here, right up the middle for Zachary Marvel. Great field position for the Trojans to start as they'll start at their own 43-yard line.
You know, one thing the coaches, we always say in special teams, if you hold your block, we have a shot at the special teams, and that's exactly what they did on that one.
Just almost like he was shot out of a cannon.
Watch this, Brian, how they control right around the 30, the 35, that special teams blocking from Bridgewater-Raynham.
So the Trojans trying to get their first lead here this morning.
Going back to the eye.
Rubo and DeBose in the backfield. Dawson DuBose is going to get the first handoff, and he is met immediately at the line of scrimmage by Carlos Timas.
So I think it's pretty good. I mean, that's only one play. It looks like they have a spy on DuBose. Am I pronouncing that right? DuBose, yes. If you saw that corner come right up and make that play, I should say the linebacker. That was one thing that was bad with Brockton, Brian. Their linebackers were reacting way too late, and DuBose took advantage of it.
So a 2nd and 10 coming up here for BR. Again, there's that I formation with DuBose and Rubo. Up the middle, Dawson DuBose trying to find a hole. It's going to gain about 3 yards, gets up to the 46-yard line.
Another trap look, Brian, on that one. This time Brockton just blew that up, excuse me.
So a 3rd and 7 here. Now the running attack has been pretty successful for the Trojans, especially in that second quarter. But can you really rely on the ground game to get you 7-8 yards here that you need the first down? Or do you try and throw?
Well, they proved their run game averages over 4 yards a carry. So except for a couple times you mentioned in that first half.
So a shotgun formation, 4 receivers set. Byrne drops back, looks over the middle of the field, trying to find Braheny, a little low in behind him. So it'll be 4th down. And we'll send it down to Newbie Ratto on the field. Newbie?
4th down.
How's it going, guys? I had a chance to talk to defense coordinator Carlita Weaver and some on the coaching staff. He said, listen, the fact of the matter is this. It's just execution. I said, what do you guys need to do better? He said, execute. You know, it's a matter of just running their offense, you know, making defensive plays, making tackles. So he said if they do that, he sees them win this game. It's just a matter of execution, and, you know, that's a frustrating part on their end.
Thank you, Newbie. Execution, Dom, came down to here for Brockton as BR punts this one away. Spiraling kick, and the fair catch called for, and it's going to take a Brockton bounce. And the Boxers will start at the 31-yard line. Do you feel like the Brockton Boxers had some execution issues there in the first half after that touchdown drive?
Yeah, but they were all, the execution wasn't happening. You know me, I'm for both teams here, but BR did the right thing. They were blowing up those big Brockton plays, and it was execution. But you got to give your hats off to that BR defense when they went to the nickel and they took out that extra back and put another defensive athlete in there, another defensive back.
We'll give credit here to the Brockton defense right here, forcing BR into a 3-and-out to start the second half, and now Brockton trying to retake the lead here with their 4-receiver set. Powell to Anudi's right. Play action. Renudi drops back, throws it deep downfield, has a receiver. Can't catch him in stride. And that's just over the outstretched fingertips of Michael Victor. Going for the deep ball right here to start the second half, Tom. You like that call?
I do, because you have to open up the field. You can't, you know, BR has shown they can get in that line. Here's another look at it right here.
I will say I absolutely love the play call. You got to go for it here. You got to change something up.
Yeah.
I mean, it felt like the second time that Brockton had the ball, they were unstoppable. We figured that was just going to be the whole afternoon. And, you know, of course, BR on defense made the adjustments. And now Brockton's trying to give BR something else to think about here. As we have another 4-receiver set, 3 to Renudi's right, 1 to his left. Still Powell in the backfield. Montero in motion. All-out blitz here. It's going to be a nice screen pass here to Powell. Powell catches it, finds a hole right up the middle. Powell into BR territory. Finally is brought down at around the 40-yard line.
Now, let's talk about that little slip screen they just did, Brian. One thing that hurt Brockton in the season, here's a look at it, is Renudi's motion to get the ball over the lineman. They tried that in Severian. They tried that in Weymouth, and both teams were able to blow that open. And like when we talked about execution, that was perfectly executed by the Boxers.
I feel like also, too, that the motion there from Montero to the right, as you see Powell get a handoff here, goes up the middle. That motion for Montero, to his left, gave the BR defense something else to look at. And then you had that screenplay, and it was a huge gain there for the Boxers. So a 29-yard gain on that screen pass.
Here they go again, going back to the no huddle.
The 3-receiver set here. Renudi rolls out to his right, is going to take off now and run towards the right, and he's going to gain maybe a yard to get up to the 35-yard line.
One thing coaches hate is when you have your athletes standing up as your ball carrier and no one's blocking. Like, watch this right here, Brian. On the keeper, he tries to go off that right tackle using the slot back and that receiver to block. And when they're standing up and you're going down, someone obviously missed a block.
So it'll be a 3rd and long 5 here for Brockton inside of BR's territory. And we're going to get a timeout called here by Brockton. Early timeout here in the 3rd quarter. And see if that comes back to haunt them. If this game stays close into the 4th quarter, might be nice to have that extra timeout, but Peter Colombo does not like what he saw there, the offensive formation.
Absolutely. So he smartly calls a timeout. I think it also had to do with that last run, that keeper on the option. It wasn't even an option. He was just booting it up the right tackle. And I don't think they like these guys got to hold their blocks. And I think that's one thing you got to repeat to these other guys. If we're throwing this play, you guys have to hold and BR beating the blocks.
All right, we're going to send it down to Newbie Ratteau on the field with a special guest. Newbie?
Hey, I'm listening to Christmas music. It's a little too early for Christmas music. That's for tomorrow, at least, for Black Friday. But we'll let that go. It's Turkey Hat Day. I'm joined with the legend over here, Dan Biron. Listen, former head football coach, former athletic director. First and foremost, happy Thanksgiving.
happy Thanksgiving to you and all the viewers as well. Thank you.
What does this mean to a player, to a coach playing on Thanksgiving morning, cross-time rivalry? Brockton actually plays Waltham, but Brockton and Bridgewater just seems like a natural rivalry, natural matchup. Talk about that.
Well, when we put that together, almost 12 years ago now, I think we played 10, and then, of course, last year, unfortunately, we couldn't play, but this is the 12th meeting. It was a no-brainer, and I think it's just the locale. I mean, there's a lot of Brocktonians living in Bridgewater and Raynham, and just the communities are right next door. It's just a no-brainer, and it's been a great rivalry. Every game has been pretty close. I mean, a couple of times Brockton got us pretty good one year, and I think we might have got it, but usually it comes right down to the wire every game. So it's great for the communities, I think.
Typically, guys, high school football is Friday and Saturdays. How is it getting prepared to play for a 10 a.m. Thursday game? Is there a different preparation?
It is. I think the body clock, believe it or not, and we used to we would practice maybe on the weekend before and get them up early because, high school kids will sleep late if you let them, and then the day before we get them up early. And I used to try to get them in early at game day too, just to go through some, walkthroughs or whatever and get them up and get them moving. It's different, but the energy, the crowd, these kids, it's for a lot of the seniors, it's their last game, so they'll play at any time of the day for their last one. They'll remember this the rest of their lives, So it's a great atmosphere. And I just hope that Thanksgiving football, I think with the state playoff system, is a little less important, but it's still important to the two teams, whoever it is. And this one here is turning into a great rivalry, so it's a special moment. These kids will remember the rest of their lives.
Coach, thanks, and listen, thanks for everything you've done for the Bridgewater community and for this high school. It's definitely appreciated.
Oh, you know what? I put a lot into it, but I got so much more out of it. It's been my pleasure. It was an honor to work here where I played, and I'm a lucky man. And now I can stand on the outside of the fence and just watch and enjoy the game. And I slept well last night. I didn't have to get up early today, so I just want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving. All the fans and the players and the families. This is great.
Last question: where's your turkey hat?
I'll take that one. If you get one that fits, I'll wear it. That'd be a big turkey, though. But anyways, thank you for everything you guys do. Broadcasting, it's a professional job. You guys do really all year long, both cable companies. And this day, I know, was a big production for you guys. And I used to look forward after dinner to go home and watch the game being run and see all the mistakes I made. But no, you guys do a great job, and it gets it out to a lot of the community members who can't be here today, and they get to see these kids play. And this is the best high school football for $5 or whatever. It's the best bargain in town. So,
all right, happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Back to you guys.
Thank you, newbie. Of course, Dan Bjorn, the legendary head football coach and athletic director here at Bridgewater-Raynham, has over 200 wins to his credit as head coach and a couple of Super Bowls. Glad that he gets to finally come back here as BR completes its first pass of the afternoon, but it was only a gain of 2. It's going to be cool, though, for Bjorn to come back here and watch alma mater and the team that he used to coach. And he said it best, I don't have to get up early anymore.
Right.
There's no stress. I got to sleep great. So he's going to be enjoying this.
Absolutely. No more game jitters. Just enjoy the game. But on that last possession, BR did hold Brockton there on 4th down. But if you watch the Brockton front, Brian, that outside linebacker, those strong side out linebackers coming up quicker this time when number 6 has the ball.
Byrne drops back, looks near side, and finds Breheny, but it's well overthrown.
So Brockton did make that adjustment. I don't know if you noticed that. They're still playing with that weak backer, and depending if they put a guy in the slot, that weak side backer will actually step off a little bit. You know what I mean? In case they do try to go to the off tackle. And then the strong side backer, Brian, I've noticed, is coming up quicker when they go to his side of the ball.
So a 4th and 5 here for the Trojans, and they're going to punt this one away. Okay, I was going to say, I don't see a punter back there, but I saw a return man for the box, and I said, something seems up here. Looks like Trojans are going to go for it here on their own 40-yard line.
You know what? I was thinking trick play. They haven't really been in the center. They got a single lone back out of the single eye. Everybody's nice and tight. You got to get 5 yards. Why not just wedge block it?
Well, the big thing about that is now Brockton has had to take 2 timeouts here in the third quarter.
Yeah, we're not even halfway through the third, are we?
So we have 6.
Oh, yeah, about half. Yeah, more than half.
I mean, if this game just stays closer and closer and closer, and you get later into that fourth quarter and Brockton now only has that 1 timeout, that could be huge for the Boxers.
Absolutely, because, I mean, it's still tied at 7 here.
So now BR will punt this one away. Spiraling kick goes high. And it's a muffed punt. Looks like Bridgewater-Raynham may recover this one. And it's going to be recovered by Brockton.
Again,
that was Jonathan Pace that dropped the punt there for the Boxers, and luckily they recover it.
Like they said, execution, execution.
So great work, though, from Brockton's defense here as they force another 3 and out.
It's going to be interesting.
So far in this third quarter, 2 punts from Bridgewater-Raynham and a turnover on downs for Brockton.
I have to apologize to the guys in the truck. They're sending us some excellent replays. And with the glare, I'm not watching. I can't get on the monitors. Wanuti right here.
Wanuti runs out to the right, being chased down, and he's going to gain of about 4 or 5 yards.
There's another look here, right, Brian, the keeper.
Of course, from an end zone cam. It's a cool little camera angle that we don't normally get to experience for football.
Absolutely. I thought he got 5. It looks like he only picked up 3 on that last carry.
So 2nd and 7 here for the Boxers. 4 receiver set. 3 to Wanuti's left. Direct snap's going to be a handoff to Powell. Powell runs up the middle, keeps turning the legs, and he's going to be maybe half a yard shy of the first down marker, so it'll be 3rd and very short here for the Boxers.
What a great run by Powell.
Just keep those legs moving. Take a look at the replay. Patient, followed his blockers, kept the legs moving. 3rd and a very short one here for the Boxers. Trying to retake the lead here on Thanksgiving morning.
One of the big things is, Brian, number 87, Logan Johnson on the D-line. They ISO'd him out.
I have to imagine this is going to just be a run up the middle. Yep, that's the handoff, and he is going to get stuffed. Gets back to the line of scrimmage, and it's going to be 4th and 1 now for the Boxers. Great work there from the Trojans defensive line to get into the backfield.
And who was the biggest guy that got in there initially started? Watch number 22 and number 57 coming in, blowing this up.
Michael Buron and Miles Beckett. So 4th and 1, I believe Brockton's going to have to go for it here, yeah.
Well, remember, also, Wanuti is also your punter, so they can quick kick.
They also can do that, but it looks like BR is expecting them to go for it here. So you have 2 running backs in the backfield now for Brockton, Barnes and Powell on both sides of Wanuti. 3 receiver set. Barnes takes the handoff, slips, and he's going to be dropped for a loss and another turnover on downs for the Boxers. Looks like he lost his footing right there, Dom, trying to set the edge, and Bridgewater-Raynham takes over with very good field position.
Absolutely. Never really got the edge. Watch him slip right there at his own 39. And then a host of Brockton defenders. Again, number 57, Brian, leading the attack for BR.
So 2 punts for BR, 2 turnovers on downs for Brockton. So BR will take over at Brockton's 42-yard line. I formation here for the Trojans. Handoff goes up the middle. DuBose takes this and gets to the 40-yard line. I beg your pardon. That is Dawson DuBose.
Yep.
Sometimes 6 and 8 are a little tricky to read.
True, especially when the sun's in your eyes, you're wearing them fancy sunglasses.
Yeah, these fancy free sunglasses.
I mean, hey, big hats off to the Brockton front three. I apologize, we missed the replay on that one, but their backers are now stepping up big time here for Brockton.
Yeah, they're not allowing BR to get these big yards. And then there we go. And there's the first flag that we've seen all day. Oh, excuse me, the first, I believe the first. No, it's going to be the second accepted penalty. BR had a hold. And it's going to be offside, so a free 5 yards here for BR.
Brings the ball up 5 yards. Start that down again.
All right, we have another update. Looks like Wareham has taken the lead over Bourne in the third quarter, 16-14.
So a 2nd and 3 instead of 2nd and 8. DuBose and Buron in the backfield. Pitch to the outside for DuBose. And DuBose gets swarmed and dropped for a loss.
Demetrius Sequeira, Brian, he had a knee injury that was really, really restricting his ability. What a great job. Watch him come in and take care of DuBose right here. Their linebackers in this second half has really stepped it up here for the Boxers.
And DuBose now heads to the sideline, and Michael Rubo will now go in the backfield with Buron. So again, 2 receiver set, both to the far side. Handoff, Rubo up the middle. Keeps the legs turning, and he's going to be about a yard shy of the first down marker. So 4th and very short here for BR. Imagine they probably try to go for it here because it's such a short distance in Brockton territory.
If you watch the pulling guard for BR Brockton, for BR, Delican Fay, I believe his name is, number 60, that he actually had his block. I believe that play was set up to go to the outside.
Declan Fahey, the guard.
Fahey, excuse me.
So BR is going for it here. Handoff, Rubo keeps the legs moving and gets the first down. First down here for the Trojans in the third quarter. Just over 2 minutes remaining now in the third quarter. BR looking to take their first lead of the game.
It kind of reminds you of an old Dan Buron attacking on offense here, the way they've
it feels like the typical Dan Buron offense coming out of the locker room.
Exactly. And Pacheco did mention to us, on the sideline that he was going to switch up personnel.
It certainly did that. He had Nolan DeAndre start the game as a quarterback, and it's been Declan Byrne ever since that second drive. So Rubo and Buron again in the backfield. First down and 10. Declan Byrne rolls out to his right. He's going to take off now. Gets around the edge, still stays in bounds, and is forced out of bounds near the 20-yard line. I'm going to say he was out at the 21. 8-yard pickup there from Declan Byrne.
A little bit of smack talk going between Buron and I believe that was also Montero.
I figured a rivalry like this, get a little chippy.
Absolutely.
Trojans 2-2 from the 22.
Rubo again is just eaten up immediately. That defensive line, that's Mackay Boston.
Rubo on the carry, stopped by number 75. Mackay Boston.
Yeah, we are getting a little
It'll bring up third down.
Little chippy, as they say. I was trying to think of another way to describe it, but that's the best way to describe it. They're both getting chippy ever since they took the BR quarterback out of bounds. And, of course, BR probably took offense with that. They had a little bit more curricula. And here's a look at it right here, Brian. Wall red by Brockton. Again, number 75, Boston.
Official timeout on the field.
And the officials talking to both teams right now, telling them to cool it down.
Yep. I bet you he said exactly that, too.
Maybe there was some different words used, but we'll make it safe for TV.
There you go. I formation again, Brian, here on 3rd and 1.
Rubo takes the handoff, runs up the middle, and gets the first down.
Rubo getting a big push by the offensive line.
He'll get up to about the 17-yard line. And it's the second first down here on the drive for the Trojans. 8th play of the drive coming up.
Could have a hurt boxer, we do. Coming off the field, Brian, number 24, Demetrius Sequeir.
Sequeira coming off the field a little slowly for the Boxers. So 1st and 10 for the Trojans. 30 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. Two receiver set again for the Trojans. Fullback handoff. Wide open hole. Gets inside the 15-yard line.
Carry by number 44 by Sari.
He did not make my roster.
Neither did he. Didn't make mine either. But that'll be the end of the 3rd quarter here. A 7-7 tie here, Dom. And we're going to send this one down to Newbie Recta with another guest.
Score at 7. Bridgewater. Bridgewater-Raynham will come back at 2nd down.
Oh, long night here. Some people right here. We talk all the time. What's your name again? Eds. We talk all the time. Listen, talk about playing Brockton Night football. What does it mean, the tradition?
Brockton football, it's a nice tradition, man. It goes on for a long time. A lot of winning, a lot of that. So it's nice to play on Thanksgiving, to go out here, have fun with your friends, have your family watching, then go home, go eat some turkey.
Eat some turkey, right? Yeah. What do we do for Thanksgiving? We do the macaroni. What's like your thing?
Macaroni, turkey, yams, green beans, all that.
I'm big on stuffing. That's my thing. Next, I want to talk to my man over here. Now you're over at UMass Dartmouth. Talk about that and talk about first introduce yourself and how UMass Dartmouth's going.
Yeah, UMass Dartmouth's going good. I played football for a little bit over there, but then I stopped so I could focus on my academics because I wanted to get on my feet my first year, and I'm probably going to play next year. And school's going good.
All right. We're joined the tight end over here. He's about 8'10". Listen, talk about you're playing over in Virginia right now. Congratulations. Talk about that.
Okay, so Norfolk State is going good right now. We didn't have the end to the season that we wanted, but I could definitely say my freshman year was a success. And under Coach Odoms, I think that we have a good shot next season of going good. But playing in the Brockton Boxers program definitely taught me a lot of lessons that I brought with me to college in terms of no struggle, no progress. Yeah, and it helped me as an athlete. So.
All right, listen, we're all proud of you. Coming from Brockton, representing the city well. Wish all three best of luck. You guys do a good job representing the city, and happy Thanksgiving. All right.
Thank you, Newbie. Bridgewater-Raynham now hands off to Michael Rubo, runs into a wall again and is going to lose a couple of yards.
And that's Aaron Russell. And during the season, Brian, I always mention him. He is probably my favorite. Watch this right here, Brian, as he comes up and just meets the big running back and just takes him down. Again, Aaron Russell, number 71, great player for Brockton.
So 3rd and 7 here for the Trojans at the 14-yard line.
Third down, folks, here we go.
Single backfield. It's going to be Michael Rubo. Motion here. Francis now has us on the end around. Francis, ooh, big hit. Taken, goes down and around the 10-yard line. Woo, that'll wake you up.
Now watch this, Brian. If we get another look at this, watch how they don't give him a chance to cut in as he took the ball, of course, in motion. Right there, number 42 for Brockton. Finishing him up is Montero.
Whoa, lower the shoulder.
Oh, he just lowered the shoulder and gave him a good hit. But you see how they kept him, as they say, against the grain so he wouldn't cut in?
That was a great job there from the Boxers' defense. As you said, they couldn't cut up field. Now a 4th and 2 here for the Trojans at the 10-yard line. Probably going to be about 4th and 3. Two receiver set. Rubo to Declan Burns right. Burn Drops back, look left immediately, now goes right, throws in the end zone, dive, and an incomplete pass. So a turnover on downs here for BR.
Great job by that Brockton defense holding them. You know, BR did it to them early in this third quarter, and now it's Brockton, Brian, stepping up to the challenge. Let's see how they go. I believe this is their 4th offensive possession in this second half.
You would be incorrect. It's their 3rd.
3rd offensive possession, okay. And again, a great look by the camera guys. Great crew today. A lot of great people helping this production.
So Brockton will start from their own 10-yard line with only one timeout left.
I'm dying to see if they stay no huddle.
So Montero now has this, tries to cut this one back up field. It's going to gain maybe 2 yards, and we'll send it back down to Newbie Ratto.
Guys, listen up. It's crazy over here. We're in the fan section. Everyone's going nuts. I can't even think right now. Go absolutely. Listen, it's Thanksgiving football. How you guys feeling right now?
So good. Just so happy to be here. Just cheering on the boys. We're so thankful for our BR football team.
So thankful.
So thankful.
And I'm here with 2 good friends of mine. Julia and Nia, we talk all the time. Listen,
Every day on the phone. This is my pet.
listen, what are we doing for Thanksgiving? Are we macaroni? Are we turkey? What's our thing?
Not a huge Thanksgiving girl myself, but I will settle for the food. I'm definitely excited to just be around family and be thankful for all the blessings 21 has given me.
All right, last but not least, we need a prediction real quick. Who's going to win the game?
BR! Is that even a question? It's not even a question. Let's go.
Listen, you guys heard it from us. Listen, they're saying BR is going to win. We'll see what's going to happen. I'll see you guys later. Bye. Oh, my God. We're going to Disney. Ah! Hi, Mom.
All right, thank you, Newbie.
Oh, my God.
BR fans there right in the end zone.
Brockton going for it long, trying to hook up a Lucas Pius that last thing. Oh, my God, that was so awesome. What's your name? That's awesome.
Of course, Newbie Ratto doing an amazing job down on the field for us, as he does every single year. Emmy award-winning filmmaker, Newbie Ratto.
I heard. I saw him in a couple of games.
As you said there, Brockton going for it all. He had the receiver wide open, just a little bit underthrown there from Wanuti. So it'll be a 3rd down and 8 here from the 12-yard line.
You know, I would say that was probably his 2nd worst out of all the passes from Wanuti. Unfortunately, he ended through his intended receiver. Let's see what he does here on 3rd.
So a 4-receiver set. Powell to his right in the shotgun formation. Direct snap to him by the goal line. Airs this one out deep. Wide open receiver. And that's caught, and he is gone. That is Lucas Pyers, the 88-yard touchdown throw and catch. And Brockton retakes the lead.
Wow. Brian, they went back to the same play. Just watch a different formation as they threw this at BR.
Talk about a blown coverage. Let's take a look at the replay here.
Look at number 10, the corner, Brian. And there he is, wide open down the field.
Looks like he thought he had the safety help behind him. He just stayed in that short zone coverage, and Pyers was wide open behind him.
Remember, Wanuti was soft-stepping, as they call it, to his left. In a corner, you don't want to give away that run, but unfortunately, they lost on the big pass.
That was a play that Brockton desperately needed, and the extra point splits the uprights, and the Boxers take the 14-7 lead with 9:09 remaining in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, let's see if Brockton stays this this plan of attack, if you will, the way they attack ISO in that big tailback for BR, and that's all they're doing. Their backs is that outside back we talked about before on the weak side. Sometimes they put them on the strong side. That opposite linebacker, they're starting to come up and fill the seams, as they say.
I was just glad that we finally had some points because, we haven't had any points since early in the 2nd quarter. And we thought, okay, is this game going to overtime at 7-7?
And that's what I was mentioning to some people earlier that I talked to. And I don't know if you and I talked about it when we were talking to Jeff. But I thought it was going to be one of those games because 2 evenly matched teams.
So BR on the season, they are allowing 22.8 points per game. Brockton is allowing 28.7, but so far both defenses have stood up to the challenge.
They have. They made their adjustments. They're executing, like we heard the coaches say to our sideline guy.
Strong kick. He's going to be fielding around the 15-yard line. And a good tackle right here from Brockton, and the BR Trojans will start around the 32-yard line.
Watch this return. He accidentally hits number 51 for being David Wesser.
Zachary Marvel on the return there for the Trojans.
Little miscommunication on the special teams blocking assignment, unfortunately for the Trojans on that one, Brian.
Final ball on the 28-yard line. It'll be first and 10 for the Trojans. 9 minutes left to go, folks. Plenty of football.
Actually gave him the 33-yard line, so that's where this drive will start here for BR. Again, I formation here for the Trojans. Pitch to the outside for DuBose. DuBose holds the ball high and tight and gets pushed out at the 39-yard line.
DuBose on the carry, following some blockers.
So does BR try to run down the field, take off as much clock as possible, and tie the game up and maybe hope for overtime? Or they, because you just saw, Brockton has the ability to score on the big play.
Right, and I've seen them do it all year like that, just like you probably saw BR with their, when they play that I formation, they can blow the line of scrimmage, defensive line of scrimmage open. I would just, Brian, clock control and run your offense. Move that ball.
Single back in the backfield. Marvel in motion. The pitch is going to go to Marvel, and he gets wrapped up in the backfield. Great work there from the linebackers from Brockton.
Johnson coming up on the big stop for the Boxers. Great read. Watch this right here, Brian. He will step up. He'll shred his block. Actually, what happens, he came up from the defensive back position, and number 11 from BR had to take on two guys. Daniel Francis had to take on two Brockton defenders.
So 3rd and 7 for the Trojans here. Brockton trying to force another 3 and out. Shotgun snap to Byrne. Throws right, almost gets intercepted. Went right through the hands of Carlos Timas.
Remember we talked about linebacker's job, read and react, going to your coverage, your hook to curl, if you will. If you're that outside linebacker with a three-man backers, that's exactly what he did.
So BR, another 3 and out here in the second half. Can Brockton pad the lead here, Dom?
Well, you know what? They proved they got BR to bite on that last play, because I personally think that the backs were thinking run when he was rolling to his left.
Kind of a wobbly spiral hook, takes a BR bounce, and Brockton was going to let this one roll down to the 25-yard line, and that's where the Boxers will start with 7:26 remaining here in the fourth quarter.
If Timas hooks to curl earlier, being that left outside linebacker on that 4-3 look, he might be off to the races.
I was going to say, that might be a pick six if he's able to get his hands on it and be able to turn, but it goes through the hands. BR's only completed one pass today for 2 yards.
This is big. BR has to step up to the challenge defensively. Let's see how they look at how they react to this.
So now if you're Brockton, you'd imagine they want to try and run the ball as much as they can to take off as much as that clock.
Yeah.
Of course, with a 14-7 lead, courtesy of an 88-yard touchdown catch and run from Lucas Pyers.
Oh, they're trying to get the proper spot of the ball, I believe. Did they just move that ball back?
I believe that's the 20. We're at what? The 25-yard line. So another 4-receiver set. Powell in the backfield with Wanuti. Handoff Powell right up the middle. Gain of a few. Take a look at the replay there. Just simple run right up the middle, ran into a wall.
Looked like a little bit old-fashioned wedge blocking as the guards in the center just try to wedge that hole open. Yeah, exactly, Brian. You hit the nail on the head. All you have to do is just clock possession. You have a lead.
Well, every once in a while I'm right.
Every once in a while.
Even a broken clock is right twice a day. So 2nd and 7 here for the Boxers. The 28-yard line. Wanuti going to take off and run with this one. And gets away from a blocker. Excuse me, from a tackler. Now reverses field. Got some blocks downfield, but there is a flag. So this one's probably going to come back. But Wanuti is off to the races. And no one will catch him. There's a few BR Trojans knowing that the flag is against Brockton.
We might have a crackback block against the Boxers.
But if this does stand, that's a 72-yard touchdown run from Wanuti.
Let's get the official call here from the official. Brian, 21-7 Old Rochester over Apponequet now in the start of the 4th quarter.
Very well. Yeah, the blindside block there.
Yeah.
And that's a 15-yard penalty. That's huge. That could potentially turn the tide back in favor of Bridgewater-Raynham.
There's still 6 minutes and 20 seconds left in this game.
I mean, that was still quite the run, though, from Jason Wanuti, the senior quarterback here from Brockton. As I said, would have been a 72-yard touchdown run. So that penalty brings the ball back to the 12-yard line.
2nd and long for the Boxers from the 12-yard line.
So a 2nd and 23 as we get a new ball. Hand delivered onto the field.
There you go. Let's see what type of stunt BR throws. I can see Bjorn. He's moving up. The other linebacker is moving up and is sending Bjorn.
So Wanuti now drops back. Wanuti avoids a couple of tacklers. Wanuti now is going to take off and run. And he's going to try and stay in bounds. He gets forced out of bounds. That was a smart play there from Wanuti, trying to stay in bounds just to keep that clock running.
Absolutely. He got a little back.
Well, now they're going to say that they're going to run the clock here.
That's a break for Brockton.
Defense is on the hunt. Brings up 3rd down, 3rd and long for the Boxers.
Yeah, they go back to the huddle this time, Brian. Got an update. I apologize. It's Quincy over North Quincy, 12-0. Midway through the 3rd.
So 3rd about 16 here for the Boxers. 5 receiver set. Wanuti, direct snap. Throws over the middle, has a wide open receiver, and it's caught. Cam Montero, wow, makes a tackle, and no one's going to catch him as Cam Montero walks into the end zone. And another big play from the Brockton Boxers.
What a call by head coach Peter Colombo and his offensive coordinator.
81-yard touchdown run, a catch, I should say, excuse me, for Cam Montero.
I want to say I'm surprised, but I've seen that all season with those big explosive plays between Montero and Wanuti.
And this game was 7-7 just a few minutes ago, and now Brockton's looking to go up 21-7.
Wow.
So that personal foul penalty, that was just to get more stats.
Yeah. Let's open the field a little bit more.
Brockton takes the extra point. Snap, good ball down. Kick splits the uprights, and the Boxers take a 21-7 lead. So Brockton looking to get the first, I guess you could say, winning streak against BR here in the last game of the year.
Yeah, absolutely.
And looking to win back-to-back Southeast Conference championships as well, and which would get Brockton who within one game of 500. they would finish the season 5-6, I believe.
Yep, 5-6. They would.
BR would also then drop to 5-6.
Yep, and then they would have the rights being staying undefeated in the conference as the Southeast Conference champions.
That's true. 2 years in a row they'd be undefeated. I believe they didn't lose a conference game in the spring either.
No, they won it. True, they did win that matchup at Marciano Stadium.
How about that? I had undefeated in conference play, and they're like, "Oh, for the season." Like, no, for the eternity.
So let's see what Coach Pacheco has in his bag of tricks. You know, he talked about changing out personnel.
You'd have to wonder BR is going to have to start airing out the ball a little bit more. I mean, just over 5 minutes left.
Yeah, the clock is definitely now against you.
And Brockton probably knows that.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, I almost feel like Brockton's going to dare BR to run at this point.
Right, and one of the things we talked about before the half, Brian, was the ability of BR to control that line of scrimmage. And now Brockton has made the adjustment. That outside backer on that 3-4 look.
Return at the 17-yard line. Finds a hole, and that's Jameer Lawson.
Nice return.
Good return there, as you said. He gets up to about the 40-yard line. So just under 5 minutes left, and BR has to come back from 14 points down to force overtime. But Brockton's defense, I mean, BR is, punt, turnover on downs, punt. I mean, the Brockton defense really has done an amazing job of turning things around here in the second half.
They really have, and I was touching on the ability of that outside linebacker when they play that 3-downwind look, the 3-4 look, and that weak side linebacker is now stepping up quicker. And the cornerbacks, once they commit to that run and read the run right, and they're making the plays they need to do, they're executing well on defense.
As you said, BR is going to have to open it up. They come out with a 4-receiver set. Direct snap, Byrne throws quickly to the right, finds Ryan Breheny. Gets up to about the 48-yard line.
See Montero's reaction. He thought he had a shot at this. Here's a look. Watch his reaction. Right here, great play. He thought he might have a chance up for a pick six, but smartly falling to the ground on a sour note. Unfortunately, BR lost Daniel Francis. He's on the bench, seeing the trainer. That's a big loss. He's a great slot receiver for BR.
Byrne now airs this one out over the middle and too high for Zachary Marvel. Yeah, Francis is one of his favorite targets, has been all season long. We do have some laundry on the field, though. I have a flag. Looks like that's going to go on BR, though.
Yep.
Probably going to be a hold. Get the word in just a second. And it is going to be a hold on BR.
All right, so we'll repeat second.
Trojans get a holding penalty. That's going to move them back some, and they'll start that down again.
And here's a look at this last play, Bri.
Trojans now have second and.
It is way too high for Zachary Marvel, senior receiver here. So 2nd and 13 here for the Trojans. Another 4-receiver set. Marvel in motion. Fakes to Marvel.
Oh, they're looking screen. They were thinking screen. Brockton blew it open.
Now Byrne is just going to throw this one away. That was a great job from Brock. They saw the screen. And
they did. They blew that up.
Yep, and they didn't leave their assignments. So it was a great job from the Boxers' defense. So at 3rd and 13 now for BR.
Smart play by the quarterback, Brian, because he was smart enough to read that. Some guys would throw that in the middle of the pile, if you will.
Well, I think it was even smarter just to throw it away to try and conserve as much clock as you possibly can.
Absolutely.
I mean, I know BR has all 3 of their timeouts left. There's 4:15 left. And, Dom, I'd have to imagine this is 4-down territory for the Trojans.
Absolutely.
So you don't have to necessarily get all 13 yards here on 3rd down. So again, another 4-receiver set.
They're bringing that outside linebacker on the strong side.
Byrne lofts this one. Wide open receiver. Zachary Victor. And he can't quite get out of bounds, but the clock will stop, though, for the moving of the chains.
Watch the delay on his release, Brian, to get so wide open. Let's see if we get another look at this. He stops. He cuts in. Now, on that delay, he's on the other side of the flat, on the other side of the field, and there he is wide open.
So BR in Brockton territory at the 40-yard line. Marvel in motion again, goes towards the far side. Byrne throws out, finds Breheny, has no blockers, and a great job to get tackled inbounds by Brockton right there to keep that clock running.
Another look at this play. Right out in the flats, there he is. He just stepped back. Nice block. Nicely read by the Boxers, though. Only a gain of 1.
Clock keeps ticking. 3:20 left in the fourth quarter. Brockton with a 21-7 lead. An 88-yard touchdown catch from Lucas Pyers and an 81-yard catch from Cam Montero here in the second half. Dumps this one off to Marvel. And Marvel keeps going up the sideline and gets tackled out of bounds around the first down marker. I believe the official's going to say that he got it, and he did.
What a quick guy, that Zachary Marvel. He's a quick pass. What's his play? Right up to the flats. And he uses his speed and puts on the Jets, as they say, and gets that first down. Looks like we almost had a horse collar tackle there from the Boxers.
So 1st and 10 here for the Trojans at the 29-yard line. Trying to cut away at this 14-point Brockton Boxers lead. Again, single back formation here for the Trojans. Marvel again in motion. Fake the pitch to Marvel. Byrne drops back. Byrne throws it to the end zone, looking for DeAndre, and he catches it. Nope, there's the sign. The catch for Nolan DeAndre in the back of the end zone. A 29-yard touchdown catch.
Wow, watch this. This is incredible. Brian, he was double teamed. They fake the inside, the toss. He drops back, and right there, watch this, Brian. He only needs, well, he had plenty of real estate. From our angle, I thought he was deeper in the end zone.
I mean, I just pulled off the Ron Burgundy touchdown. I was waiting for the ref to give the judge, the back judge, to give the sign there. Barry's extra point is good. Everyone needs a good Ron Burgundy reference every once in a while.
Right. Oh boy.
It was a long time. You had to wait for the official.
All right, we got an update on the Whitman-Hanson-Abington game. We have a final. Abington has beat Whitman-Hanson 31-19.
That's good for Abington going into the Super Bowl.
West Bridgewater has come back. Remember, 6-1. They got denied playoff. Stupidly. They came back, Brian. They come back, beating Southeastern 56-26.
Woo!
Wow.
I mean, can you really call that a comeback if you win by 30?
Blue Hills, huh?
You call that a comeback if you win by 30?
Well, remember,
I mean, if you do at one point did come back, I mean, but
right.
It just feels like a blowout at that point.
Oh, of course, but at the
comeback
time,
blowout.
They were down on onside kick
for BR. BR bench is signaling that they have it. Let's see what the sign is here. No sign yet from the officials. BR says that they have it. I still haven't seen an official point. And the referee now finally gives the ball to Bridgewater-Raynham. That's huge for the Trojans.
Oh, it really is. Look at the field position they got. But you know what's so crazy? I don't know if it's the cold weather, but these officials are taking their sweet time giving us indication. That's exactly what happened in the Severian game. The playoff game Brockton was in. The referees, I mean, then again, it was a lot colder, but still.
It's 55 degrees out there.
My God.
It's tropical.
Yeah, for New England.
For November, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's huge. Bridgewater-Raynham recovers the onside kick at the 47-yard line. 2:53 left, and they have all 3 timeouts left. So if BR wants to run the ball a little bit, they certainly can. As Victor now gets this one. Victor towards the near sideline, and he's going to get pushed out of bounds around the 32-yard line.
Wow.
15-yard gain there for Zachary Victor. And all of a sudden, the tide is flipped in favor of BR. How huge is recovering that onside kick for BR?
It's huge. No one was. I don't know if you were. I wasn't expecting it.
I figured I was expecting an onside kick, but I didn't think they would line up the way that they did.
Yeah, true.
I mean, you saw Brockton the last 2 times they've had the ball. They've scored 80-plus yard touchdowns. You can't give the ball back to Brockton if you're BR. So again, Michael Rubo in the single back formation.
5-3 look now defensively for Brockton.
And the pitch. Now it's going to be a handoff to Rubo. Finds a hole up the middle. Keeps churning the legs. He's going to get up to about the 26-yard line.
Watch this look here, Brian. I believe they go to a 5-3. 5 down linemen, 3 backers, and they still are able to get 3 yards. I believe it was a 3-yard pickup, right? See where they spot the ball, almost 5. Single eye formation here, Brian. Here on second down.
It's the staple for BR. His running attack. Marvel again in motion. Little misdirection there to Rubo. Excuse me, no, that's going to be Victor who got the ball. They even confused me.
That was an inside counter. You fake to the outside guy. Let's see if we can get another great look at this. Watch how they fake.
I thought Rubo had it, but it was actually Victor who got the 10-yard gain.
Like an inside counter.
I mean, I got the play right, just the player wrong. So BR now inside the red zone, the 16-yard line.
Brockton going back to that now, again, a 5-2 look.
And around here again, Marvel has it. Marvel towards the end zone, untouched. And Zach Marvel puts BR on the board and pulls them to within 1.
Wow.
Oh, we do have a flag, so that's probably coming back. I was going to say, that was a wide open hole for him to get through.
Folks, it's okay. It's holding on the Trojans. We're just going to move it back, but we still have 4.
There's a referee fan out there through the window. Well, we pretty much could tell. I think they're going to call that. They're not going to give out a number. It looks like that was on number 77.
We'll take a look at the replay. Yeah.
Right there. He's holding Aaron Russell, number 71.
I mean, unless if it's on him, that's kind of weak.
Yep. But still. Little miscommunication right now in this Brockton defense, Bri. They really got to settle down and do what they did their last 2 defensive stances.
We got some motion here for Bridgewater-Raynham, some adjustments.
Double wing formation now.
Is Victor now in? Whoa, this one. That's a fumble.
Fumble on the play. Could be Brockton's ball.
Let's see what the officials say. Looks like it's going to stay with BR. That play was just looked like disaster from the beginning.
Yeah, double wing formation. If we get a look at this, watch this, Brian. Double wing formation. They fake to the fullback, giving it to that left wing back. And the Boxers just blew that up. You had Boston, Russell in there for Brockton.
So 2nd and 17 here for BR at the 26-yard line. I formation, Rubo gets the handoff, goes to the right, keeps the legs moving, gets up to about the 20-yard line. You have to imagine BR is going to have to start taking their timeouts, and they do, with 47 seconds left.
Big Tomasi Resendez, number 61, initially on that stop for Brockton. As he comes up right through the gap. Here he is right here, Brian. Initially took him by his laundry and then was able to slow him down and take him down. Great job by Brockton.
So BR will have a 3rd and long here from the 21-yard line. 3rd and 15, maybe 16. So after a rather uneventful first half with only a touchdown per side, Brockton with 2 touchdowns, BR with a touchdown going down the field trying to tie the game up.
I think you go back to the nickel right here. Get a backer out, get a defensive, a very fast defensive back in there.
So 47 seconds left. Brockton with a 21-14 lead here on Thanksgiving morning. We thank you all for watching the Bridgewater Television, the Raynham channel, and Brockton Community Access. Brian Berard, Dominic Damiano alongside here with you.
40-20 now. Blue Hills over Bristol Plymouth in the end of the halfway through the 4th.
Of course, Brockton bench trying to get the Brockton faithful to get up and get loud. 3rd down here, of course, 4 down territory here for the Trojans. Byrne drops back, blitz. Gets picked up, throws towards the end zone. Caught! Breheny! Touchdown, Trojans! Oh, my goodness.
Wow.
Just when you thought it might have been a sack in the backfield. And we now have a touchdown for the Trojans, an extra point away from tying the game.
And they were in the nickel, Brian. They had 5 defensive backs. Let's see if we can look at it again. Great job by BR's front. And number 20, looks like Johnson's going to try to make a move on it.
He goes to make the pick, I think, and missed it.
Wow.
And now BR just the extra point away from tying this game. You thought Brockton may have been walking away with this one when it was 21-7, but we said last week against Quincy, BR was down 20-7. This week, today, they're down 21, and BR's going for 2, Dom. They're going for the win.
This is big.
Going for the win. Now we're going to get a timeout here.
You know, we talked.
Lou Pacheco takes the timeout.
We talked about, sorry about that. We talked about how Brockton quickly used 2 timeouts early in the third quarter, and just the way the game transpired, it's paying off. Again,
Actually, timeout Brockton, so
Exactly.
BR still has both their timeouts left, and
well,
Brockton
that's
now
my point, yeah.
Yes.
I knew you got that as soon as I
So now Bridgewater-Raynham trails by 1. How about this from Bridgewater-Raynham? 29-yard TD catch from Nolan DeAndre, and then a 21-yard catch from Ryan Breheny. But for Brockton, an 88-yard touchdown catch from Lucas Pyers and an 81-yard touchdown catch from Cam Monteiro. Offense has woken up here in the fourth quarter, Dom.
They really have. You know, the only thing they changed late in that I've seen was they went to that 5-2 look, Brian, so they could put that other defensive back in there.
So that was a 6-play drive for Bridgewater-Raynham.
We are fans. We are free.
Looks like Trojans are still going to go for 2 here as Mason Berry will not be coming on here. So you have DuBose and Buron in the backfield. Breheny and DeAndre out wide. Byrne under center. Pitch to DuBose.
This could be a
DuBose
pass.
is going to throw into the end zone. Tripped.
Oh!
And no flag, and now Brockton has the 1-point lead here.
Wow.
Oh, my goodness.
You know what? I was thinking trick play. I really was, because they have nothing to lose. I mean, of course, they want to get the win, but they've beaten Brockton, you know, on these outside moves, on these outside tosses. Why not throw the ball?
So BR now has to recover another onside kick. All right, we're going to send it down to Newbie Ratto. Newbie?
Guys, I was right here by the sidelines. I mean, that play, it was a touchdown or a 2-point conversion. Bridgewater, you know, one of the players should have caught that. I don't think Brockton's defense was too happy about that. Nonetheless, they'll take it. But I had a good chance to see that right here on the sidelines. They had it for the taking. It was a great play. Just threw a little short. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Newbie. Yeah, we didn't quite have the greatest angle up
No.
here, and we see that, you know, you had the wide open receiver, and they should have caught it. A little bit of a short throw there from DuBose, and now BR has to get another onside kick.
This time,
Brockton preparing for it.
Absolutely.
See Mason Berry's attempt.
It's got to go 10 yards, right?
And it did not go 10 yards, and Brockton has recovered it. And a little wave goodbye by Christensen Paul as Brockton is going to hold on, Dom, for the 21-20 victory here and win consecutive SEC titles.
What a great game all around. For BR to battle back the way they did, you know, and again, Brockton holding their own. Those last 3 defensive stances are big, and that was set the outcome of this game, I believe.
Absolutely. As we said, both offenses came alive in the second half, but really the fourth quarter. As Brockton will take this victory formation. Of course, this production does not happen without the many remarkable people behind the scenes. So we want to give a special shout out to all of our people that work behind the scenes, which Mark Dean, Jason Pritchard even came out of the woodwork for today's game. Mary Evers, we said Jeff Fowler and John Luck did some amazing work on camera. Megan Stanovich, Scott Olson, Mike Simmons on the roof, along with Evan Reardon. Our technical director, Mike Moriello, and Newbie Ratto has done amazing work all afternoon, or all morning long, I should say, on the sideline. Dom, what are your final takeaways here as Brockton gets the 21-20 victory?
Well, you know, we talked about this, Brian, you know, earlier this morning. We thought it was going to be a close game. We got exactly what we thought was going to happen. You know, I want to give a shout out to everybody, you know, the both crews, again, Bridgewater-Raynham, the Bridgewater crew, the Brockton crew, bunch of great people, you know, making this production happen.
Now, I want to ask you real quickly here, do you think BR should have went for the extra point there to tie the game to
I would have tied the game.
Well, it's easy to say now in retrospect then. You don't get it. But Dom, I hope you and your family are healthy and happy Thanksgiving
Thank
and
you.
a holiday season.
You too.
So for the final time here from Bridgewater-Raynham's Turf Field, for Dominic Damiano, I'm Brian Berard. Happy Thanksgiving, and we thank you for watching.
Ladies and gentlemen, show our appreciation. One big round of applause for our BR Trojans football team.
Bridgewater-Raynham MVP of the game. 21. Right. Everybody, great team effort. Brockton, thank you so much. That was an awesome Thanksgiving Day game. I mean, it sucks we lost, but just a great game. You guys, that's a real good. Declan Byrne, our quarterback. Declan Byrne, our quarterback. Please come on up here and grab this. Thank you, Brock. Great job.
Okay. Not the MC.
Cody.
Great job, DR. Great football game. Keep your heads up. Thank you.